For those who do not know, the Egüés Valley is a valley that is made up of 18 towns. We have 12 councils, 4 lordships, and 2 large towns. For example, in Sarriguren, we have a population of almost 15,000 inhabitants. Gorraiz also has around 4,000 inhabitants, and then we have the rural towns, which we can say is the most rural area of the valley. These councils range from 15 to 700, 800 inhabitants. When we started the procedure, before drafting the dossier to replace the luminaires, we visited many companies to check on how they worked, the products they had, etc. The truth is, we traveled half the country and, well, actually, one of the last places we visited was ATP. The way they treated us, their work philosophy, their assembly lines, how they have everything prepared, the cleanliness, order, and also the quality of the design above all, were outstanding. We believe that the design has a lot to say because there are small towns where we do think design is important, as you have to give that special worth to a town with stone houses and a rustic look. In locations where ATP is implemented, and also in places we visited, it gives us a taste of the product's quality, of the luminaire that we believe others don't have. We must also mention that remote management is very important. The remote management that has been built into the equipment makes it possible to define time slots as a result of shorter night hours. In addition, of course, to present sensors, which therefore enable greater savings. The energy savings amounts to around 65%, according to data provided by the engineering itself, but indeed we are already seeing savings in bills, as those that were of around 25,000 euros before are now around 10,000 euros. This remote management also makes it possible for us to, for example, keep the lights on 100% all night long for security reasons, even during town celebrations. We know that nowadays gender-based violence and such issues are very much present, and this enables us to offer increased security during the celebrations held at any town in the valley.
The experience has been positive because there have been hardly any issues, and when any occurred, they have been solved right away. Thus, we like this product. It is a great fit, we had no issues with it, and that's why we repeat. This product is made with polymers, with which we have avoided corrosion, possible discharges. We had no need to replace any luminaires in the 20 or 22 years that we have had them installed, whereas we have replaced many galvanized units.
What I would highlight about the project above all is that, apart from being a benchmark at a national level, and I would even dare say that internationally, due to the fact that each luminaire is different in that respect. They are different, but then again their components are very similar, which means that the maintenance is limited to the replacement of smaller parts. What I can say is that in terms of smart city, lighting, being the main network inside the city and having the remote management built into the luminaires, we can collect data from each luminaire from sensors that let us integrate them into a smart city platform. There were many problems here with maintenance, and we had to try to minimize them, especially with a project that we wanted to be durable, not to last 10 years, but a lot more. When we envision the projects, we want them to last not 10, but 20 or 25 years. There were many issues with glare when using LED lights, especially at low altitudes, below 5 meters, and for us, protecting from or correcting that glare was essential. And the only solution we find today is the comfort diffuser manufactured by ATP, which is a very important point to correcting glare at low altitudes. If you add personalized remote management, especially in the vicinity of Egüés Valley, which is very scattered, it lets you control and monitor faults and reduce travel. 4 fundamental aspects took place in our decision to go with ATP: flexibility, adaptability, reliability, and proximity. Whenever we had a problem, I could simply contact their customer service directly without waiting times. I did not have to call a switchboard. I'd like to emphasize that a high degree of lighting has been achieved. We're talking about lighting above 20 lux on average in general. Spectacular uniformity. We're talking above 0.5, which has reduced energy consumption by more than 60%. And we have no light pollution in the valley, which is very important as it's a unique environment where you need to have a sky clear of light pollution to see the stars.
The way in which light is projected from the lamppost down is also different, upwards too. This is also very positive, especially concerning light pollution, and I think that is also noticeable.
Right now, you look out on the balcony and see the faces of the neighbours from afar. Before, the light used to be very dim, and now it is a very good lighting. The fact that the intensity increases as you approach the lampposts, I think is very good, because you avoid the continuous energy consumption resulting from a luminaire being used when it is not necessary. The facades, the square, the green of the grass look more beautiful.
You can see a whiter, more welcoming light. It even gives a friendlier appearance to the town.
In other words, when a car goes by, the town's crossing illuminates and let the people and children know that a car is coming. That is very important for us in crosswalks, where we have zebra crossings. Where it was much darker before, in a particular park, now you have a different sense of security, as you don't have completely dark stretches and can walk around Goraiz seeing what is there, right?
If you simply pass by, you do not see or notice them. But as soon as you walk under a sensor, that change in lighting is quite noticeable.
The lampposts are prettier, and above all, the light is prettier.
I believe that all the neighbours in Goraiz feel that there has been a very important change in the lighting.
For a project like this, where deadlines were so important, betting on a company that can manufacture the product without depending on anyone else, as is our case, well, it gave the council the assurance that they were going to receive the right product when it was needed, and that the timing set was going to be strictly complied with. The solutions have been very different. We had to illuminate large avenues, the access to the towns, the parks, the intermediate roads, in short, more environment-related situations. Except for highway lighting, we had to virtually cover all types of scenarios possible, because we are talking about a lot of towns with very different needs, and, as we said before, almost antagonistic. The technical characteristics of ATP in any project are undoubtedly an advantage for us, because we've always wanted and manufactured our materials beyond what any regulation requires. In this case, I would undoubtedly mention the IK10, because our luminaires are the most vandal-proof there is. I would also talk about the immunity to corrosion, because these are mountain climates and it also rains a lot. Then, forgetting about corrosion and not needing any kind of maintenance is a clear advantage. The IP66 is key, because having a clean luminaire inside, free from mosquitoes or dust, any kind of dirt, will avoid any drop in performance and will especially cause light safety to be preserved over time. And I always say that a Class 2 should be mandatory, because it is responsible for none other than the safety of the people, isolating us from electrical risk. And well, I always close this package with our 10-year warranty. Installing something on the street and forgetting about it for 10 years is a blessing that not everyone can offer. ATP lighting.